The talks between Max Verstappen and Mercedes aren't cooling off anytime soon, and all signs suggest that the Dutchman isn't shutting the door on a potential move to the Silver Arrows. According to The Telegraph and several Dutch media outlets, Verstappen and Toto Wolff are still very much in communication behind the scenes. With that in mind, the big question looms: could this sensational transfer happen as early as 2026? And more intriguingly, what would it mean for the future of Formula One? The ongoing back-channel discussions are steadily shaping into a headline story for the 2026 season, especially considering how earlier reports had claimed the talks were over due to Max's firm commitment to Red Bull. But since her departure, everything has shifted. Red Bull's recent technical struggles have sparked doubts in Verstappen's mind, making it clear that even his seemingly solid position within the Austrian team isn't guaranteed. Rumors swirled about a chance meeting between Max and Wolff in Sardinia, which some dismissed as coincidence. Still, let's be honest though, much of F1 is ever truly coincidental. If Max remains at Red Bull, what future awaits him? The team's current development trajectory is far from inspiring. And with Jos Verstappen openly expressing that he won't rest until she is out of the picture, the internal storm seems far from over. Many believe Max and Mercedes might already have a covert agreement in place. However, even with the momentum building, there's still no official confirmation that a 2026 contract is imminent. What's clear is that interest is intensifying on both sides, especially as Mercedes could emerge as a powerhouse under the sport's upcoming new regulations. A harsh reality for Red Bull? Max delivered a staggering 74% of their points in 2024, and all but 7 in 2025, an unsustainable load for any driver, no matter how dominant. It's hard to argue against a fresh start, especially when an opportunity like Mercedes may only come once. Mercedes won't wait forever, and just because Max is currently a 4-time world champion with the momentum in his favor doesn't mean he'll remain the hottest asset on the grid indefinitely. Jos Verstappen has made his stance loud and clear. He wants nothing less than the best for his son. If he isn't doing well, Jos said, he should look at the team to see why, and then at some point, he'll decide whether to continue at Red Bull after this year. Considering the current chaos at Red Bull, arguably the worst internal state they've faced since their inception, Jos may be onto something. Red Bull has lost almost every pillar of its winning structure. It started with Newey's departure, then Wheatley, then Clay, and finally her. Some might argue this opens the door for a rebuild around Max, but no championship-winning team rebuilds without a rock-solid technical crew. Under Ballo and Wee, the team has rolled out questionable upgrades. Meanwhile, McLaren has undergone a stunning revival thanks to Rob Marshall's arrival, highlighting what Red Bull is currently lacking. Still, Mercedes' aggressive pursuit of Max raises questions, given they already have 2 exceptional talents in George Russell and Kimi Antonelli. The latter is widely regarded as Brackley's next champion, while Russell has matured into a capable leader poised for title contention. Looking ahead to next season, expectations are high for Mercedes to return to form. In contrast, Red Bull and Auto particularly shaky in the engine development department, are predicted to face major struggles. This issue alone could be a core topic in any discussions between Wolff and Verstappen. Whether or not that Sardinia meeting actually happened, German outlet Bild insists their overlapping presence in Italy was purely coincidental. Still, in a sport as calculated as F1, coincidences rarely happen without purpose. Still, the Formula One rumor mill shows no signs of slowing down. While Verstappen's possible arrival at Mercedes continues to make headlines, let's be clear, it might not be the magic fix to all of the Silver Arrows challenges. If we weigh the situation objectively, one truth becomes evident. Since their dip with the new regulations, Mercedes has been climbing steadily. While Red Bull has plummeted from dominating 19 of 23 races to barely clinging to midfield relevance, thanks largely to Max Verstappen's brilliance. Without him, it's hard to imagine Red Bull maintaining any status at all. Mercedes knows this, but they also know something else. Max doesn't intend to race forever. Unlike Russell, who is being eyed as the one potentially stepping aside, Verstappen has made it clear that he doesn't see himself racing into his 40s. This stands in sharp contrast to legends like Hamilton and Alonso, who both said similar things, then kept going. But Verstappen's case is different. He's a new father. He's been vocal about how the sport's relentless growth wears him down. He doesn't want to spend a lifetime in a race suit. If you're Mercedes, that's a factor you must seriously consider. Is this the kind of driver you can build a future around? And let's not forget, Mercedes didn't just find George Russell, they built him. From Formula 3 to Williams and then to Mercedes in 2022, Russell has paid his dues. He was never brought in to be a second driver. He's shown from day one that he can go toe-to-toe with Max, something few on the grid can say. While Oscar Piastri has earned praise for his 2025 racecraft, the dominance of the MCL 39 puts McLaren in its own category. What's happening between Mercedes and Red Bull is an entirely different beast. The recent firing of her from Red Bull changes everything. It either signals a desperate attempt to keep Verstappen happy by giving him whatever he wants, or it marks the team's acknowledgement that Max is already halfway out the door and they're starting from scratch. A wildcard scenario? Red Bull signs Russell. But that's hardly an upgrade for George. He'd be stepping down from a team that's clearly on the rise. And in this cutthroat world of F1, there's no guarantee we'll see a simple one-for-one swap between Max and George. Like him or not, Russell deserves sympathy. He knows he's not the team's top priority anymore, not with Verstappen suddenly on the market. This creates an immense amount of pressure on George Russell to deliver peak performance. Ironically, if he does just that and finishes ahead of Verstappen in the championship standings over the next 2 races, it could actually trigger Max's exit clause, paving the way for him to take Russell's seat. Talk about a brutal twist. So what do you do in a scenario like this? Well, welcome to Formula One. There's no hiding in plain sight anymore. It all comes down to how Wolff and Verstappen orchestrate this potential move in the coming months. Initial reports suggest 2026 might be the final trial year for both camps before any drastic change. But if the narrative shifts suddenly, don't be surprised if negotiations reopen overnight. After all, when a 4-time world champion signals that he's ready to join your team, and your team just happens to have the most dominant engine heading into a new era, you don't say no, you listen carefully. So, what do you think? Could Toto Wolff and Max Verstappen actually be working on a future together? And more importantly, would the Silver Arrows give Max a better shot at glory than Red Bull ever could in their current state? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, don't forget to click on the video appearing on your screen right now.